Hello and welcome, my friends. This is Jennifer from Mystic Star. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and watching this video on Aquarius. On January 20th, we're going to see a changing of the guard in the zodiac symbols. On the 20th, we welcome the Aquarius zodiac sign. It is quite the changing of the guards, where with Capricorn, we had that earthy, stable energy that added a flare of flexibility, as much as that earth energy can. With Aquarius, it's a whole different ballgame. We have that fixed, not so much static, but very clear-cut air symbol being brought in by the water bearer. It's kind of like a catch-22, where you have the air, that knowledge base, brought in by that water intuitive base. Actually, when you look at the zodiac symbol, not so much the sign, like the actual astrological sign, but the symbol, it shows two lines, and that symbolizes water above and water below. So we're in for quite a dynamic change and giving things a bit of a shake and helping us to, get on that right track. We know that with that fixed, uncompromising energy of Aquarius, we're going to get some things done. We've got some movers and some shakers, some thinkers. And that critical thinking, we need it now more than ever, as Mercury retrograde encompasses the Aquarius time this year. We have Mercury retrograde coming in from January 30th to February 21st. And the Aquarius energy is going to support us in getting some stuff done, even though we have Mercury retrograde. We have that progressive, fight for it energy that's brought in with Aquarius. So it's going to be quite the time. And that's what I want to look at in this reading, is how we can use this Aquarius energy to our advantage. The decks I've chosen for this reading, I went with the Spiral Tarot and the Chakra Wisdom Oracle. I wanted to kind of encompass that independent thinking while touching in on some of that healing that we need so much right now. And of course, the selections I have for this reading, the first group here goes to my Aquarius friends. People who have Aquarius in their astrological birth chart. Doesn't mean you were born in January, February. It can be that that Aquarius sign comes in somewhere throughout your astrological birth chart. This is the group for you. For my other friends, I have two selections. I've got some Auralite here and Fluorite. I need you to choose whichever group fits for you or resonates with you, and then head into the description box below. There, you're going to find timestamps. Click on the group or crystal's correlating timestamp. It's going to take you straight to your reading, my friends, and I will see you there. Hello and welcome, my Aquarius friends. Welcome to your reading. Now, like always, I have the full decks of both the tarot and the oracle cards here, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Before we get into this, I want to wish you guys the happiest of birthdays. For most of you, it will be your birthday sometime at the end of January, throughout the beginning mid of February. So, happy birthday to my Aquarian friends. Alright, without further ado, let's see what Aquarius wants to share with its Aquarian children. What insight, information, guidance, And wisdom does Aquarius have for its Aquarian children? All right, so we already have one that flipped upright. We're dealing, of course, with the Ten of Wands. It's that workhorse card, if you will. The card that tells you that you are working harder than you should be. We're burning out. Come on, you're Aquarian children here, my friends. That uncompromised social justice, gotta get that job done energy. It's not unsurprising that many of us are feeling that burnout, that burden that we're carrying. We're doing everything for everybody. And most importantly, we're ignoring ourselves, causing ourselves added, stress, pain, and in many cases, heartache. It's time to ask for the help. I know, I just almost swore at my Aquarian friends. Asking for the help is not a sign of weakness. I know, take a deep breath in and out. You've got this. You can do this. I know many of you ask for the help that you want or need, and then resist how it comes to you. Aquarius, in its wisdom, because it does have a lot of wisdom. As I said in the introduction, those lines that symbolize Aquarius, those squiggly lines, they themselves symbolize above water and below water, that duality. So there is a lot of wisdom in Aquarius, knowing that our Achilles heel is fighting for that cause, that social justice, that change, getting that job done, seeing things through. We also need to get back on course, the course of action, and realigning ourselves with our soul's deeper purpose. And that is the biggest part of what Aquarius wants to share, that realignment. So many things went awry. Well, around this time, it was March 13th that many things hit the fan in Canada. I know that it hit the fan in different times in different places. However, we're getting to that 1-year calendar. Aquarius is saying it's time to get our priorities straight. Release what we don't need, what isn't going to serve us, that's not in our soul's deeper purpose, allowing other people to take control and reclaim what they need to do for their soul's deeper purpose. I know it's a lot. I know it's not easy, especially when it's something that is almost ingrained in you. It's an energy that you hold deep within you. It's not going to be easy. However, you can do it. As Dory said, just keep on swimming. Or keep on breathing. One of the ways that you can help to overcome some of this anxiety and help to rebalance yourself is a meditation I did with Archangel Sandalphon. We looked at rebalancing and balancing self and bringing in that harmony. We need that harmony and that light to rekindle that fulfillment, helping to direct us back onto the path that's going to bring us, well, more joy, happiness, and abundance than what we're currently working from. Oh, she's hitting you hard. The Devil, the 15th card in the Major Arcana. Well, Aquarius is holding nothing back. It's time to realign ourselves, release what we're holding on to, because it's a lot. Those things that are holding us back, those limiting beliefs, those core values, those coping mechanisms. It's time to take a hard look at self, because self, well, like I said, you're going to burn out. What you want to do and what you want to accomplish, well, you're not going to get it done. You're going to end up physically unwell or hurt, emotionally drained, and spiritually disconnected. We need to take control and release ourselves from those nooses, those tethers that the ego has bound us down with. Taking that time, reflecting in, understanding you and what's occurring. How you can make some small shifts, because the one thing that the devil and the ego does really well is when we make those big leaps and changes, well, they like to rein us back in due to fear, due to instability. Small, steady shifts will support you in making the change you're looking for, in the change that Aquarius is encouraging you to do. I know it's easier said than done. However, take it slow. In a lot of videos that I've been posting in the last little while, I've been suggesting that people start to write down things, and not in a small little journal that you get from the dollar store or something that's pretty. Let's make this useful. Get a binder and go back to school. Learning about self. You can make that binder as personable and creative as you need, but it needs to be functional so that you can put in different pieces, different learnings, different explorations, ideas on how you can overcome some of these challenges. What's working, what's not. When you have that information down, you have that pathway. And I know I'm speaking to the choir here when I say that organization is important. We have that knowledge. We don't want to lose it. We have that direction. We just may not see it through all that chaos, all that ongoing whirlwind within us. I have a number of meditations that I'm going to recommend and suggest to you. Now, if you're new to my channel and don't know what I'm talking about, I know I said that Archangel Sandalphon would really support you in bringing in that harmony and balance. Well, I've got a lot of meditations. I've got 2 playlists of them. The one I think that's going to be really important for you right now is the healing playlist that I did with the archangels. I've got, I think, over 25 meditations with archangels where we looked at that healing. Most importantly, these meditations are free for you to use and revisit as you need. So it's a tool that you can use as frequently as you need. So, like I said, I've got a number of them that I'm going to suggest, and you can use them as you need. The first one, of course, is Archangel Jophel. Her and I did a meditation to help calm that inner whirlwind, to help give you that clarity, to help inspire you to go forward and, well, help you with your creativity. That's the one aspect that we all have, differing levels of creativity. We need to use them to our advantage now more than ever. Another one I'm going to suggest is one I did with Archangel Metatron, where we looked at releasing some of this pain, some of this heartache, what's holding us back. Helps to clear us out, helps to heal us, so we're not so likely to be pulled back by that ego or devil. It's a fantastic meditation, and of course my meditations are about 30 minutes or so long. They're easy to incorporate into your everyday, and don't add too much burden to your already busy day. That healing, that time for self, it's really going to help rejuvenate you and get you to degunk and deburden yourself. The Eight of Cups. When we're not so bound up, so overburdened, that inner exploration is going to come forward. I talked about a bit of exploration and reflection with the devil, understanding what's holding you back. There's another side to that coin, though. It's not so much just understanding what's holding you back. It's also gaining that direction and understanding of what's going right. We need both aspects, both sides of this coin to support us, to help us get realigned and get back onto that track where we're feeling fulfilled. We have that joy, that happiness, and those abundances that we're looking for. The Eight of Cups, that inner journey, that's going to help us. At the moment, though, we're not able to deal with that. We can't see through the forest, if you will. We're too bogged down. Our head is down and we are in go mode. We need to release what's on our shoulders, stand up, and take a good look at what's happening. Take a good look at self, understanding you. And as you do that, you're going to find that you're going to rekindle that relationship with your higher self, gaining more insight and connection to the high vibrational beings because you're working with your higher self. So really, once we get over this hump, it's going to be a lot more fulfilling. You're going to find things start to shift, both on that physical, spiritual, and emotional level. Yeah. The Ace of Wands. This card really reminds me of a match that's just about to be struck before it engulfs in flame. That inner passion, that inspiration. We need to overcome these things so we get that clarity and that inspiration. We get inspired, invigorated for what it is we're doing. Things aren't just, oh, I gotta get this done. Then I gotta get this done. My to-do list, it's a week's worth in one day. Taking that step back, taking time for you to invigorate you and understand you. It will inspire you. It will help you go forward. And what's more, it's going to help you connect into that creativity. Creativity is an essential part of our journey. It's one of those amazing gifts that humanity has. That creativity. Creativity to express oneself. Creativity to move and create skills, melding them and molding them to what's going to support you, creating solutions and conclusions that are meaningful for you. We're not able to tap into that creativity as fully as we want. We're burdened. We're tied down. Creativity comes from that passion base, that inner flame. And it also comes from that intuitive base, that intuitive creativity. It's really the yin and yang of creativity. Without one, you're not going to be able to fully express yourself, fully create that conclusion or solution you want. Get that skill to where it needs to be, because we're missing that intuitive component. So, lots of work to do. And when you start to pick it apart, you don't take it on head on, you can start to make some shifts. Reflecting in and understanding you starts with understanding what's happening right here and right now. Not getting caught up in the past, not hyper-focusing in on the future. What's happening for you right here and right now. Using your spiritual binder to your advantage, supporting you in your learning and your understanding. You can start to reflect on what is working, what isn't working, what you would like to change, and what you need to change. Start to look at the picture as a whole rather than looking at your feet and missing out. That is what Aquarius wants to share. So let's look at how we can do this even a little bit more. Let's get into some blessings. What blessings does Aquarius have to share with my Aquarian friends to help them overcome the challenges they're going to face during the reign of Aquarius? That sentence had a lot of Aquarius in it. Oh, sometimes the cards are so sassy. Self-discovery. It's a fundamental root need. The cards, the borders here, they correlate with your different chakras, the 7 different chakras. So you know that self-understanding, that discovery, helps to bring in that stability. And it's in that stability that you're going to gain the other components. That inspiration, that creativity, that moving forward, being able to embrace even more opportunities. You're going to see them more fully, and what's more, because you're an Aquarius, you're going to understand how they're going to fit into your life. That self-understanding and self-discovery, it's a foundational component to what it is you need to do. Understanding you is where you need to start. And it's continuing on with its sassiness. Trickery. Your ego, that devil, is not going to idly allow this to happen. It's not going to say, oh, this is fantastic, I love change. Your ego will fight and resist you. Will bring in misdirections. Will bring in false alarms, that heartache, that pain. It will badger you to try and stay in that, well, literally, that little box. We need to use our courage, our determination, and most importantly, our know-how to almost beat back the devil and your ego. Taking back your power, allowing you to, well, control things. Allowing you to connect in and direct where it is you're going and how things are unraveling. If you will, your progression down your journey. And, well, that's the one thing Aquarius is also known for, is that progressive thinking. We need to use that to our advantage. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and watching this video. And again, I want to wish you guys the happiest of birthdays. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful, and that you were able to gain some insight and direction into what Aquarius wants to share with you. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It truly helps people find me on the sea of YouTube, which of course helps to raise the vibration of us as a collective. And also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. There is so much more coming your way, my friends. The best way to stay connected so you don't miss out on any of this amazing insight, healing, and knowledge is to subscribe to my channel and hit that little red bell so you don't miss a video. Also, if you did enjoy this video and want to support me in making more, I do have a Patreon page. It's full of perks and tiers, which of course we are looking at free readings and healings just for you. Plus, I also have a library of Patreon exclusive videos just for my supporters. I've provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out? Until tomorrow, my Aquarius friends. Hello and welcome, my Auralite friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full decks of both the tarot and the oracle cards here, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's see what Aquarius wants to share with my Auralite friends. What insight, wisdom, guidance, and support does Aquarius have for my Auralite friends? The World, the 21st card in the Major Arcana. We're looking at that shift, that next chapter. Aquarius is offering you that opportunity to shift and change. It's not the world where we're looking at that progressive must-do change. This is something that you have control over. It's up to you. You need to put the work in. You need to be observant and, well, spend that energy wisely, making choices that are for your benefit, your greatest good, rather than what others are expecting or what society is wanting. Those demands, those expectations, you need to weigh them out and determine the best course of action for you and your greatest good. The world, it's there for your taking. That next chapter is there, and Aquarius wants to support you in connecting in with it. We have that uncompromising, no back down energy of Aquarius. Aquarians are known for their social justice. They're not backing down. We have that energy that's going to support us in embracing that next chapter. The Eight of Cups. Of course, we're looking at that inner reflection. I know it sounds hokey and a little bit woo-woo-y to say, it's time to go on an inner journey. Understand self. That knowledge of self, it's paramount. It gives us that foundation and that stability to move forward. Without that knowledge, we're going to be spinning on our heels. So that understanding of self, it truly is important. And I know it can be daunting to try and figure out how to understand self better. So I'm going to suggest, and if you've been watching my videos, I've been starting to encourage people to create a binder, a spiritual binder, where you're putting down this information. Because, well, as much as we love the computer and technology, it's too flaky. It can be impacted both by the high vibrational beings for our benefit and the low vibrational beings, well, to our detriment. Additionally, as I said, Mercury retrograde is going to impact Aquarius. Well, Mercury retrograde and computers, they're BFFs. They crash and they boom and they bang. Using that pen and paper, going old school, you can get that information down. And what's more, you're not going to have as much challenge when it comes to retrieving that information. So get yourself a binder. Stay away from those little books, because a lot of times we're trying to cram in information, or we run out of books and then we have lots of volumes and we misplace information. Get yourself a good binder that you can start to fill up with information about self, about your journey, about knowledge, and aspects and pieces that you want more knowledge on. Things that resonate with you. That reflection, that inner journey, well, you can start to write down who it is you are. What aspects of self you enjoy. Well, what other aspects you want to work on. At a later date, you can look at how you want to work on them, how you want to create a better self. It's part of humanity's gift, is that creativity. And yes, we can create a better self. We need to take that time, give ourselves that love, and of course, that energy. That's why I'm encouraging people to get a binder. You can be as creative and beautify it as you want, but we need that functionality of the binder to support us with keeping all that information in one spot. So during the next month, I would encourage you to not only get that binder, but start to reflect on you. Like I said, start to look at who you are, what you like about yourself, what you're doing, where you want to go, those hopes, those dreams, those little pieces about self. You don't have to write it in a paragraph, bullet form, whatever form you feel more comfortable with. Get the information out. Because as you start to get that information out and you're thinking about self, well, you'll be surprised at what comes forward. So that self-exploration, it's going to be essential, especially for this next chapter. The Five of Wands. Anytime in tarot or oracle you see that number 5, you know you're in for that challenge, that fight. And, well, that's very true with the 5 of Wands. Your ego, that lower vibrational self, well, it's not going to just sit idly by and go, oh, change? Fantastic. Let's do this. Yeah, no. That conflicting passion-based. Your ego is going to bring up heartache and pain to try and beat you into subordination. That's part of that exploration of self. What fears are you having? What heartache and pain is holding you back? When you can identify them, especially in writing, you're starting to release them. And don't go into detail. We don't need to rehash and relive things. When we re-traumatize ourselves, we cause ourselves more pain. And we do re-traumatize ourselves each time we start to hyper-focus in on them or start to really get into what happened. We need to start to heal ourselves and release that so that we can move forward. Now, one of the ways that we can start to release some of this pain, and sometimes we have just collective pain, and we have no idea where we got it from. Well, it comes from past lifetimes, situations that we clearly don't remember, and it just kind of builds up. Well, I have a meditation that can help you start to release and heal some of that built up pain. Now, if you're new to my channel and don't know about my meditations, I have 2 playlists. One I've done with archangels. I've got a variety of archangels that we've done a lot of healing meditations with. And another playlist of tools that can support you in overcoming challenges. These playlists and meditations are free to you. I'm not going to recommend tools that I'm going to charge you for. Not only does that feel really icky and kind of conflicting for me, it's not going to help you. And that's what I want to do, is help you. So you can go into the playlists. I've got links below. And I will also try and put cards up for the meditations that I suggest. So the meditation for the release is one I did with Archangel Metatron. We can start to release this pain, this heartache and fear that's going to limit your ability to connect in to this next chapter, to fully commit, to help you understand your path, help you realign yourself to your soul's deeper journey, which brings in that fulfillment and that joy and, of course, those abundances. And yes, I mean financial and material, but I mean abundances across the board. Health, friendship, relationships, you name it. Abundances so your cornucopia overflows. And that's what we need to do. We need to shift our energy to a higher vibration, and we do that by getting ourselves unstuck, understanding ourselves, and taking that next chapter, opening it up, being excited for it, And then most importantly, putting some action to things. We don't want those leaps of faith. And if you're new to my channel, you'll hear me badger on. Please don't just jump into stuff. Take it slow and steady. Because if we jump into things without the stability, your ego comes in and beats you back with fear. So you lose that momentum. We need that stability and foundation so that we can continue with what we're doing. We have that maintainable and sustainable change. So if you do little shifts here and there, not only are you not putting your ego on red alert, you're able to maintain them more fully. So we can start to maintain those changes. We can start to create what it is we hope for ourselves. And Aquarius wants to get you back going. Last year, around March-ish, yeah, give or take. I know in Canada, all the schools in my province closed on March 13th. It literally was Friday the 13th. For many parents, it was the day of hell. However, I digress. We're almost to a calendar year of 2020 bringing things to a skidding halt and eschewing us. It's time to get back to what it is we need to do. Realigning ourselves, gaining momentum and progression in our development and our growth. And Aquarius wants to support us with that. So let's look at what other supports we have. Let's get into some blessings. What blessings does Aquarius have to share with my Auralite friends to help them overcome, that one's important, to help them overcome the challenges they will face during the reign of Aquarius? Sometimes the cards are really jumpy. I do ask that they keep them on the table. When they hit the floor and get into the cameras, oh, it's a pain. This deck has been very sassy today. Release. As I said, it's important that we release this pain, this heartache, this stuff that's holding us back. We're getting nowhere. What we're getting is stuck, frustrated, and our mental health is starting to deteriorate. Additionally, we're finding ourselves more isolated than we ever have before. And yes, part of that is the virus and the shutdowns and the social distancing. However, the biggest factor to our isolation and our disconnection is that low vibrational stagnation. We're disconnecting ourselves from the higher vibrational supports. Now, if you haven't used the Chakra Wisdom Oracle, the borders connect in with your chakras. This kind of gray color connects into your crown chakra, that connection with the universal energy. So we know this disconnection is through that disconnection of the high vibrational beings and the universe. That spiritual disconnection is impacting us negatively across the board. Sure, we want to connect in with our physical support team. Well, we have technology and creative methods to safely connect in with each other. More importantly, part of this self-exploration is understanding how we're going to reconnect in with our high vibrational beings and, of course, that universal energy and source. Now, in October, I created a number of meditations. It was through my Just You and Me playlist, and that playlist is more for the tools, whereas the other playlist is for healing. This one's for tools. Well, there's a series of meditations that I did that we worked on connecting in with our high vibrational support team. It would be a fantastic meditation to visit or revisit so that you can start to reach out to that support team, those high vibrational supports, and helping you to understand you just a little bit more and on a deeper level. Yep, Definitely. Instinct. Again, we're working in that crown chakra. Trusting self, trusting our abilities, that instinct. We're not looking at that ego-driven flight or fight. We're looking at that intuitive instinct, following that high vibrational drive. We have the information, we have the know-how. We have to trust in ourselves, trust in the universe. I know this is a newsflash. Many of us are struggling with this. The universe is not out to get us. It sometimes feels that way. However, the universe is trying to realign humanity as a whole. And it can hit us in differing degrees and differing levels. But we need to trust in the universe, trust in this process, and be open to the guidance and support that the universe and high vibrational beings want to share with you. That is how you're going to be able to go forward and truly embrace this next chapter. That intuitive energy, that connection, and understanding self. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful, and they were able to gain some insight and direction into what Aquarius wants to share with you. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It truly helps people find me on the sea of YouTube, which of course helps to raise the vibration of us as a collective. And also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. There is so much more coming your way, my friends. The best way to stay connected so you don't miss out on any of this amazing insight, healing, and knowledge is to subscribe to my channel and hit that little red bell so you don't miss a video. Also, if you did enjoy this video and want to support me in making more, I do have a Patreon page. It's full of perks and tiers, which of course we are looking at free readings and healings just for you. Plus, I also have a library of Patreon exclusive videos just for my supporters. I've provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out? Until tomorrow, my Auralite friends. Hello and welcome, my Fluorite friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full decks of both the tarot and the oracle cards here, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's see what Aquarius wants to share with my Fluorite friends. What insight, wisdom, guidance, and support does Aquarius want to share with my Fluorite friends? The Four of Cups. What a fun card. I love this rendition. I love how it has that whimsical little loop-de-loops to show the universe. So of course, the Four of Cups, you're looking at that missing picture, that missing piece, if you will, the Holy Grail. The Four of Cups talks about having all that you've achieved and feeling disconnected. You have that humdrum, mundane feeling about what you're doing, about who you are and what's happening. We're disconnected from that meaning, that fulfillment. In many cases, we're disconnected from our intuition and those high vibrational beings. What we need to do is take that pause, that deep breath, and start living in the here and now. Many times we get caught up in the past or hyper-focused in on the future, and we're missing out on messages and wisdom that's right in front of us. The high vibrational beings love to, hide messages in plain sight. We need to take that time. We need to be observant. The universe, those high vibrational beings, They're trying to give you that holy grail, help to connect you into that fulfillment and meaning. We're just missing it. It's right there. We're just too stuck in our patterns, stuck in that heaviness. There is a heaviness that has settled in globally due to all that's happening. That said, we still have that ability to take the time and be observant. The more observant we are now, well, the more we're going to gain. The more guidance, insight, and aha moments we're going to have. Your aha moments. That knowledge. Knowledge is going to set you free. A lot of what we're missing is that knowledge, that insight, that information. Aquarius, being that air symbol, and we're dealing with that knowledge base, wants you to get those aha moments, wants you to embrace them. Again, we get those fleeting aha moments where you're like, oh, that's cool. Or knowledge that jumps into your head and we push it out. We resist it. We need to minimize that. When things start to pop into our head, we need to look at it and think, oh, okay, and then get it down. If you've been watching my videos over the past couple weeks, I've been encouraging people to move away from those spiritual journals that are small and they're not so flexible and move towards that binder. I know it's a lot bigger. However, you're going to find the format probably a lot more supportive and conducive to what you want to do. You can easily add in pages, printouts. You can even add in those little pockets. So if something comes forward, a leaf or a flower, or even, and I know a lot of people like to do this, they start to collect the feathers that like the angels and the high vibrational beings leave for them. If it's meaningful, you can keep it, or a photo of it, so that you can remember it. That information, it may not make sense, but similar to that of a puzzle, when you look at the little piece, it doesn't make sense. You can't make heads or tails of it. Same thing. Get the information out so that you can reflect on it. You can start to see that pattern. You can build up that puzzle, and you start to get a better picture of what's happening and what you need to do. Taking that knowledge piece by piece. The Eight of Cups. That self-discovery. That intuitional state is very important. We've got double cups. Cups are always about emotion and intuition. And that intuition is very predominant right now. Like I said in the introduction, when you look at the symbol for Aquarius, it's got that double wave. And what it means, it symbolizes is water above, water below. We need that balance. And right now, we don't have it. We don't have that balance of that above water, that intuition. We need to start to work on it and strengthen those intuitive abilities. Now, one of the ways that we can do that is through a meditation I created months ago. Now, if you're new to my channel and aren't too sure about these meditations, well, I have two playlists of meditations. One I've done with the archangels where we work on that healing, and then I have a playlist of just you and me where we work on some tools. These are free meditations for you to visit and revisit as you need. They're free for you, and well, each time you use them, you continue to gain the benefits of that meditation. The intuitive meditation that comes to mind to support you with reconnecting in is one I did with Archangel Raziel. We worked together to help you reconnect in to your intuition and higher self, supporting you in releasing some of those blocks and barriers you have to your intuition, healing you so you feel stronger and more able to connect in. A fantastic meditation that you can use or reuse to your advantage right now. that intuition, that connection is going to support you in understanding where you need to go. Of course, so is that self-exploration, that self-understanding, which I know is really hokey to hear. What I want you to do is understand you. Go do it. No, it's a lot more than that. Going back to that spiritual binder, you need to start to explore you. Many of us struggle with that task. How do you get to know you? Well, start writing it down. What is meaningful for you? What challenges are you having? What is going right in your life? Start to write things down. You'll be surprised at what comes out. The more clear you are and honest you are with yourself, well, the more you're going to understand you. It's going to help you to release some of these barriers, some of these resistances we have. We know as a collective, one of the goals and tasks we have is to heal ourselves, to help release ourselves from past lifetimes, past traumas, past pains. By no means do I ever want you to go back and relive past traumas. It re-traumatizes you. However, as a whole, you can start to heal yourself without really getting into the nitty-gritty of things. Focusing in on that high vibration, focusing in on that healing. And those healing meditations, I don't go back into trauma or pain. We talk about the heaviness and we talk about the light clearing out the dark. That is going to support you in that healing. And it's literally layers upon layers of healing. Some of us have had almost a revolving door of lifetimes. So we have a lot of experience, a lot of pain, and a lot of stuff we need to work through. The most important piece is going to be helping you to understand who you are. Explore that true self, that authentic self. And Aquarius wants to help you gain that knowledge, that insight to support you in this journey. Because that knowledge of self, that understanding of you, is part of what you're missing. It's also part of why we have that disconnect from those amazing high vibrational beings and that universal source. No matter what you label it, God, Goddess, the great power, the source, it doesn't matter what you label it as, that great entity that is there and guiding us. We need to reconnect in with self, reconnect in with our higher self and our intuition, and then reconnect in with those higher vibrational beings and that universal energy. That's part of what's in that Holy Grail. So let's look at some blessings to support you with the task set ahead by Aquarius. What blessings does Aquarius have to share with my Fluorite friends to help them overcome the challenges they will face during the reign of Aquarius? Oh. Yes, please. More joy. We need to get out of our head. We need to get out of our way. We do want that knowledge, for sure. However, we don't want to get caught up in it. We don't want that stagnation, that hyper-focusing that creates more problems than good. Focusing in on the present. Like I said, there are messages and guidance hidden in plain sight. We're not going to receive them if we're hyper-focusing in or getting stuck somewhere. We need to enjoy our present no matter what the present is. We know we have the creativity, the skills, and the ability to make shifts and changes in our lives. The way we do that is bringing in that happiness, that light, that joy, that love. Well, it connects in and amplifies our solar plexus chakra. Now, if you've never used this oracle deck, it's a fantastic deck connected into your chakras. Each card has a border that is connected in with one of your 7 chakras. This is your solar plexus. The joy, that happiness, that love, it's going to invigorate you. It's going to stimulate that courage, that determination to connect in with what's meaningful, what's going to help you, and what's going to get you unstuck. Focusing in on what's going right, what brings you happiness, what brings you joy. That will allow you to be more present and see these messages. Start to connect in. See these messages. That knowledge that we need. Quest. Such a fantastic card. Connected into your throat chakra and connected into what I was talking about. That quest ahead that Aquarius is assigning you. This task at hand. We need to move forward. We know where we're currently at isn't working for us so well. We're not where we want to be. We're not who we want to be. There's pieces and aspects we want to keep, and some we want to release. We have a quest at hand. We now need to start putting action to that quest, putting steps one in front of the other so we can start to make those changes in our lives. I never encourage my friends or clients to make those leaps and bounds. You can't sustain them. There's no stability in them. And what's more, our ego likes to claw us back and throw in heartache and fear to have us regress, which then causes even more stagnation because your ego is confirming your worst fear, or it's creating a fear that you've confirmed. Taking slow, steady steps creates stability within you so you don't regress like that. When you make small shifts, they're more manageable. You're not taking leaps and bounds and you're not making grand statements. Taking time for you to understand you, that's a small shift. Kind of easy to do, giving yourself some time and energy. Okay. Starting to understand what's going right and how you can use that to your advantage. Well, it doesn't seem too hard, right? We're not looking at making grand changes. We're looking at exploring and reflecting. And then moving on in that high vibration. Adding in components and elements throughout your day, throughout your week to support you in this journey. Tools like reflecting, understanding things a bit better, meditation, healing yourself, giving time for you to rejuvenate you and strengthen you. These little shifts, well, when you start to take that little baby step, you do move forward a smidge. And then you keep doing that. And before long, your life, yourself, is more in line with what you want and what you hoped. That is what Aquarius wants to do. It wants to realign you with your soul's deeper journey and helping you to bring in that fulfillment, that joy, and of course, the abundances that we need and want. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful and that you were able to gain some insight and direction into what Aquarius wants to share with you. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It truly helps people find me on the sea of YouTube, which of course helps to raise the vibration of us as a collective. And also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. There is so much more coming your way, my friends. The best way to stay connected so you don't miss out on any of this amazing insight, healing, and knowledge is to subscribe to my channel and hit that little red bell so you don't miss a video. Also, if you did enjoy this video and want to support me in making more, I do have a Patreon page. It's full of perks and tiers, which of course we are looking at free readings and healings just for you. Plus, I also have a library of Patreon exclusive videos just for my supporters. I've provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out? Until tomorrow, my fluorite friends,